Hello and welcome to my channel, and if you have already been to my channel, then welcome back. My name is Galina and this channel is about public relations and communication strategies. I am a PR expert. I'm also expert in mass communications. So in this video I'm going to talk about how bad it is as idea to mirror somebody's logic. If you're thinking that you're going to mirror this logic back to them and you're going to show how wrong they are, I would suggest you to not get involved with that kind of communication, because it will really backfire on you. Because a person who is with the wrong logic, this logic comes from certain structure in their mindset, in their mind, and in their brain. They have certain mechanisms that are working, and that's the baseline of their view at the world. So let's say that's a conversation that I had years ago, many years ago, with somebody who was not a giver, who was a taker, and who believed that it is one person above the other, and that's the logic that he sees in his mind, okay? And for me, as a giver personality, I enjoy giving and doing good, kind things for people. That could be actually dangerous if you don't put boundaries. So very often, the logic is that if you are a giver, you have to watch out, and usually you learn this the hard way, by not having boundaries, by enjoying giving, and in the end of the day, it's not only you're not appreciated, but you're also taken advantage of, okay? So this conversation with this person, as somebody who is on the side of a taker and who believes that the correct way to go through the world is just take as much as you can and take and don't think about giving back, it's me, the person who is communicating with him, which he wants to make it an argument, of course, as a giver from that side of a person who has gotten through bad experiences. By not putting boundaries for the giving, the communication goes like this. So this person states his point of view, and I state my point of view, that the reason why I'm putting boundaries for my giving is exactly to protect myself, which I've learned that I have the right for, because a lot of people can take advantage of a giver, right? So I'm presenting this logic to him, and for him, from his point of view, because his logic is I just like to take, I think you should take as much as you can. That's his logic. And then he is explaining to me, of course, why is he not desiring to give. And I'm explaining from my side that I'm desiring to give, but with all that desire, I still should put boundaries, because giving without boundaries, it's not good for me. It's not good for the other side as well, who is not going to learn how to receive and how to be grateful. And maybe there's a lot of lessons in life that the other side will not learn when they just receive for nothing, without any gratitude, right? So this person, from his side, because I'm trying to mirror his logic, he's like, with this logic, I'm not giving, just period, I dislike it, and that's like disadvantage for me if I give. That's his logic. But now I'm coming with mirroring in certain ways, like, let me show you how this logic feels to me, okay? So I'm mirroring, and I'm like, I'm still not giving like to him, to people like him, because I have boundaries. So his receiving of that communication is like, oh, okay, so you're only thinking how to not give and how much to take for giving less. And this is the opinion that he states about me, where I'm explaining the logic about why you should have boundaries as a giver, okay? And apparently, if you are smart enough, if you are with at least middle intelligence, you can see that this is wrong, right? This is wrong perception of a person who is a giver. And to top it all, I didn't even talk about myself personally. I was talking about the logic about a giver. And of course, I have experienced this logic, but it's not only me. A lot of people who are givers are gonna know what this is all about and why you need to put boundaries. But trying to mirror this other person's logic and show them how they're wrong doesn't make them realize that they're wrong. It only makes them think badly about you, because they already have wrong logic to begin with, right? So this is why in this kind of situation it is bad idea to try to mirror somebody's logic. Another example I can give, and I know that there's a lot of HR people who are going to give advices on how to negotiate salary and how to raise the topic about salary and things like that. And that's all valid, but I'm going a little beyond this and I'm going to show you the logic. Let's say you're on an interview. Let's say you have passed first or second interview, and now you're at a point that the company needs to already discuss the salary that you're going to have, because it is only logical when you're going to work for somebody that you want to receive the appropriate salary, the appropriate compensation for your work, right? This is the correct logic. But let's say there is those employers who are going to say, why are you thinking only about money? You're not serious. You're not thinking about the work, you're thinking about the money. And now let's say me as an employee, a potential employer or a candidate, I'm going to mirror this logic. If I'm going to mirror this logic, what am I going to say? I'm going to say, why are you only thinking about my work and my time that you want to take from me? What if I only want the money that you can give me? What if I come here and I only hear about the money that you're going to give me, about my salary, and that's it? We're not discussing the work that I'm going to actually do. We're not going to discuss the qualities that I need to have. I only need to know the number of the money that I'm going to receive. What about that, right? Because this is mirroring this logic that is apparently manipulative. How is this going to sound from my side? It's going to sound wrong. Why do you think it doesn't sound wrong from the person who is in a higher position because they are a manager in some company, or a hiring manager, or a recruiter, or somebody who is, let's say, the boss or maybe even the owner? Why doesn't it sound bad from his side that he wants your work, he wants your skill, he wants your dedication, and they also want your time, and they're not even going to discuss the salary that they're gonna pay back in compensation of all of this that you're going to give, but you don't have the right to mirror that to them. It's going to sound wrong. It's going to seem wrong, because this is not your true logic. This is why it seems wrong. This is why it even feels wrong, because this is not your true logic. Because you're trying to adjust yourself to somebody else's thinking and somebody else's wrong mindset in order to show them something or mirror something to them and make them understand how this is wrong. But the problem is that they're not capable to understand they're wrong because of their wrong, because of their wrong thinking, their wrong mindset. Because of that wrong, because the baseline is already wrong, then they're not capable of hearing a person who is on the right side, who is on the correct side, and mirroring back to them they're wrong. Okay? Does it make any sense? So what is the alternative of this? I can tell you a lot of times I'm thinking, I am 100% right to give this argument. This is perfectly logical. This follows the logic of the argument, and it's correct. However, I'm not going to say anything because I know that even though it's correct, it is going to sound wrong, and it is going to make me sound wrong. The proper way to deal with this situation is to not get involved into that logic in the first place. So listen to the other person's statements, listen to the other person's logic, and use that to create opinion and make impressions and gather information about how their mind works. And then you decide if you want to get involved with them or not. And if you don't want to get involved with them, then simply put your boundaries. Simply say, oh, I appreciate the offer, the proposal, but I'm going to pass. I'm not the right candidate for you. Or let's say this other person, when they present their logic, you can just nod and say, oh, okay, I see what you mean. I see, yeah. Great. And you don't need to say anything. You don't need to present to them your own logic or your own way of thinking, because they're incapable of understanding it in the first place. But then, because you learned about their logic, now you can decide if you want to get involved with them or not. Of course, if it is about friendship or some kind of partnership, or even, let's say, a romantic relationship, especially a romantic relationship, you can literally decide if you want to get involved with this person or not. If it is your colleague, there is going to be some level of communication that you cannot skip, but still you can limit your contacts to the professional, right? Because you don't want to get involved further as a friend or acquaintance, right? So this is pretty much the right way to handle this kind of situation. Instead of trying to communicate with somebody or arguing with them and mirror back to them what they showed you as a wrong logic, instead of doing this, keep silence, say, show understanding, show that you understood them. And by the way, the fact that you understood somebody doesn't mean that you agree with them, right? But you can just show them, oh, okay, I get your point, I get what you mean. And people like to feel understood, so if you show understanding, they will most likely not feel the need to get you involved in an argument. And with that, for a workplace, and regardless of if it is for a workplace or any other form of business relationship, if you sense something like this, if you sense that something is going to be one-sided, the person is going to have a lot of requirements for you, but not even basic information about what they are going to do for you and what they are ready to offer. They're already putting this wrong logic that they are somehow above you, that you're less important than them, that their company is important, but your time and your skills are not, right? And your life is not important because maybe you want to go and spend time with your family or with your friends or with your closest people, but instead you're going to give your precious time to their company or to their business or to whatever the situation is. And they're not ready to reciprocate because they don't consider your time and your life and your relationship important, right? And again, you don't have to mirror their logic, because you're going to sound and you're going to even feel as the wrong one, but you can choose to not get involved with that kind of people in this kind of situation. Okay, so this is with today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and you can let me know what you think in the comments. You can also subscribe for my channel. You can like and share this video, and I'm going to leave a link to my website below so that you can see who I am and what I'm doing. Thank you very much and have a great day.